All right, well, thank you for joining us today. My name is Corbin.
I'm Courtney.
Andrew. And we're with the Exercise Science program at UIS. I know last week, if you were there, we had some students come and we were talking a lot about like flexibility, coordination. Well, we're here to talk a little bit more about strength training and just kind of just daily activities just to help build and just get your muscles moving pretty much. So if you look at the guidelines that we passed out, over on the left-hand side, we actually listed the physical activity guidelines that are typically for adults and older adults as well. Number one, the main goal is just to be active. Just getting up, getting the heart rate, getting the muscles moving, that's probably the main thing that is the most important. Number two, 150 minutes minimum. It's about 2.5 hours a week collectively. So of course it doesn't have to be all at once. You can spread it out, even if it's just 10 minutes a day over 5 days, you meet your requirements. And that would just be kind of like just moderate intensity in about 10-minute bouts. So that literally could be, for what is moderate for one person, could be totally moderate for someone else. But it could just be like daily activities where, I don't know, do you guys consider yourself kind of physically active? Just
She's wearing a gym shirt.
Walking
yeah,
dog.
playing fitness.
I walk my dog 3 to 4 times a day. This is every day.
There you go. So moderate activity, different styles and
We
everything.
did Tai Chi yesterday.
What was that?
Oh, Tai Chi.
Okay, Tai Chi. Yeah,
We did that yesterday. We're doing healthy steps today.
There you go. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, yeah, so even if it's just walking your dog or just getting up doing a little bit of Tai Chi, that can still be considered just moderate activity. Number three, that's just for individuals that are kind of acclimated, kind of used to moderate intensity. They could also do 75 minutes minimum of vigorous activity. So if you're doing Tai Chi, it could just be just faster movements, just a little bit more in depth. If you're walking your dog, it could be a slight jog or running. That could be that vigorous activity that you're looking for. Along with that, kind of what we're going to be touching on just a little bit more today is 2 days minimum of just total body muscular strength training. So everything from pretty much head to toe, biceps, chest, back, quads, leg muscles, so pretty much all of that, kind of working all of that. And I know they talked a little bit last week, the 2 days minimum of balance and coordination training. That could actually still be kind of tied into strength training as well, because you're still utilizing your muscles. And the last one is just reducing your long periods of being sedentary as much as possible. So kind of 1 and 6 kind of go hand in hand a little bit. It's just all about being active. So if you actually flip it to the other side, I know it kind of printed kind of odd, but we've actually listed out all the major muscle groups in the body that that the guidelines kind of want to touch upon. So the first is legs, so I will kind of turn it over to Courtney and Andrew to kind of help demonstrate some of these exercises. Now they can be modified and everything, so we'll try to incorporate as much assistance and everything as we can if some of them are more challenging, because they are. But the first one, dealing with legs, just a hip raise. And I've kind of listed we've listed just a little bit of detail on exactly what that is, and Courtney will demonstrate. So after establishing a comfortable stability and balance, simply raise one leg out to the side, just like that. So this one's pretty simple. You can do that 10 to 12 reps, which is just 10 to 12 times, just whatever you feel you get like a good workout, and then simply just repeat on the other leg. So just switch and do it on the other side. This could also be done by raising the leg out in front. So a little variation to it. The next one that's targeting the legs is the calf raises. So again, after establishing comfortable stability and balance, you're just going to raise your feet onto the balls of your feet. So
also, if you can't do this like standing, you can sit in a chair. You can do it.
Yeah,
She's
just
doing
like that.
it.
That's all it takes. The next one is, this one's just a little bit more advanced, but we felt like it would be kind of good to kind of incorporate in here. This one's just lunges. So by taking one step forward with one leg, and then you proceed to kind of squat down as far as you can comfortably, and then you simply just repeat it on the other leg. And from there, that's a pretty good basis of what we're looking for as a general overall leg
You
workout.
can hold the chair for stability as well if you don't have really good balance.
I know, but you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cause you know, you got real low.
Yeah, that's just because like I'm
I
comfortable
just had
getting
a
that
hip
low.
replacement,
Yep.
I don't think I could get that.
So
low.
even if this is like as far
Oh,
as you go,
okay.
that's better than
Yeah.
just
Okay.
standing there
Okay.
or sitting.
Yeah,
So
there's
it's
no,
just, I can get that low. So
yeah, there's no requirement
Just
on
showing
exactly
off.
how far you need to get down. It's just whatever you can comfortably.
Okay.
So the next segment, we're going to talk a little bit about like core strength, so kind of like the abs and everything. So Andrew will kind of touch on those.
Side bends?
Yep.
Okay, so side bend, I guess you can hold the chair too. With bands, anything, you don't have to use weight, but you kind of keep your core tight and you're just leaning this way. And then you'll feel it on here and on your sides, your obliques. And then you're just coming back to center. And then you just repeat that on both sides.
so
Alright, so you would step on the band right here. And you would lean into it. And then you'll resist when you come back to center. So the band's tighter.
that's only if like nothing is too easy for you. So like if you don't have a band or a weight that's too easy, then you can add the band or the weight.
Do you have access to like bands and dumbbells here?
We were told there's a gym upstairs,
weight
right?
room upstairs.
Is it pretty nice or?
Yeah.
I don't think you have any bands in there.
No bands.
No bands.
Okay.
If you have it in the
Yes.
funds, that might be a really nice addition, really simple.
Brought these two so they can still be the same.
Yep. Same basis.
Hold it.
Yes.
Alright, I'll
And
take
again, they
those.
can be done in a seated position as well. So it doesn't, all of these can generally be modified into a seated position, so it doesn't have to be done sitting up.
Easy more for
So the next one, we just put crunches. So while on your back or in a chair.
Don't hit a
First
chair.
make sure that everything is cleared out of the way. So on your back or in a chair, simply perform a crunch movement or bring your chest towards your knees. Keeping your core tight, remembering to breathe. A lot of people, I think, forget to breathe, so a lot of times you get so much more, almost like 2 to 3 times as much as muscle activation when you simply control your breathing.
Can you do it if you're laying in bed?
Yeah, yep, you can do it laying in bed. As long as you're in
A flat position.
a flat position,
And
yeah.
then it's best if you keep your hands down on the side, because if you put them like up here, you'll try to use your arms to bring momentum. You'll use less of your core muscles.
You can still bring them up if you
Yeah,
want to.
if you
Just,
need
yeah,
to.
whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever
you
you're most
can.
comfortable
It's just, it makes it a little bit harder if you don't have them up there.
Yeah.
Okay. For the back, you can do what you call bent over rows, and you're going to be hitting all these muscles, your lats, mid back, and the abdomen. But you don't have to use weight, you can use bend. You want to slightly get in here, and your back leg will be the arm that's working. And you will think about keeping your chest up, and you will be pulling with your back muscles, not with your arm muscles. You want to be pulling. Think about your elbow, and then squeezing up through your back muscles.
It's almost like you're starting a lawnmower almost. Like you're getting down there, just reaching up and starting.
Yeah. See, so like it would,
What am I doing? What am I doing?
it would show, it would work this muscle right here, your lats, is what people call your lats. So, and then as like a secondary muscle, your triceps get worked in there as well.
Yep, and again, if you have access to bands, you can do them simply by stepping on the bands, getting good tension on there, and then just come over, just bend over as much as you feel comfortable, and just come straight up. So you can do them unilateral, just one arm at a time, or you can do them 2 arms at a time as well. It's pretty much you're just pulling your hands right to your sides is pretty much what.
There's all kinds of different ways to do it. You can do your hands like this, like this, like this. It all works the same muscles, just a little bit different.
And then the next one for back that we wanted to incorporate is simply called Good Mornings. There's tons of different names out there. This is one that I know I'm just more familiar with. All it really is you bend over as far as you can from your hips and then raise back up. Simple as that. And again, it can be done with bands as well, just whatever you have utilized up in the gym.
It's not
Can you do them in the afternoon if they're called good morning?
Good afternoons, good evenings, good nights, whatever you have time for.
And then you can pull the bands tighter to make them harder as well.
If you feel that it's working, it's working. So whatever, there's no amount that you have to pull or anything like that. I know like with lunges, like whatever you feel is comfortable, whatever you feel is working for your body, that's all that matters.
Just because you see somebody all roided up in the gym pulling more than they probably should, doesn't mean you have to do that. And then also keep your core tight. That way you keep your stability and you don't fall over while trying to do it. I've seen that happen before.
So do you have any questions so far? No? Okay.
She looked eager.
So the next segment that we wanted to talk about is the chest muscles. So both of these can be done, like I said, a lot of these can be done in a seated position as well. We're going to talk about some banded flies and banded presses. So yeah, what he's doing is he's actually taking the band, he's got it in each arm, he has it wrapped around the chair just to kind of create a point where you can come together. As simple as that, like you're almost like you're just giving someone a hug. That's pretty much what it is.
Banded press. You want to do the banded press?
Yep, and then from here you can actually sit right there, just go right into banded presses. And so instead of coming from far wide out,
So
you're just pressing out in front.
the difference would be like if you looked at it from the side, this to this. And with bands you have to be careful because you don't have gravity working against you, so you need to make sure you really concentrate on contracting the right muscle, otherwise you won't.
Yeah, so I know you don't have bands at this facility, so in a seated position, if you had dumbbells and you pressed out in front of you, or even if you did flies with the dumbbell and you're sitting upright, it's actually not working your chest muscles, it's actually working more of your shoulders, because like Courtney said, gravity's kind of pushing down on those dumbbells, so your chest muscles aren't working. So if you wanted to do a variation of these, it would require you to be, so if you were lying in your bed or on the floor or on a comfortable bench, you would have, yeah, so if you're lying on the bench, that's when the dumbbells would be really helpful, and you just press them straight up, come straight in. But if you do have bands, if you come
You can get
across
them
some, you can,
online for very cheap. Like Amazon has them for like a couple bucks. So, and you can even get like what we have is this huge roll, and you can just cut it to fit your size and your resistance of whatever you need.
yeah, so I mean,
Don't they come in different colors?
Yeah,
they
if you get the ones that are pre-cut for you, they come in different colors, which indicate the different resistance. So like yellow is the easiest, then it would be green, blue, and then black. Black being the hardest.
yeah, so I think I paid
I
about
got green.
3.
These ones,
I have, yeah, I do.
You have some?
Well, I said some, I said one.
Okay.
that's one.
With my
Yeah, I
doctor
mean,
gave
I
me for my-
have plenty. If you want some, I can cut a good amount for you and just kind of just leave it for you if that is okay, if you would like that. This cost me about, for this huge roll, it's about $25 or $30 after shipping, so it's relatively
That's pretty
inexpensive.
cheap for the fitness world, $30 for a roll a day.
I feel like somebody said last week that at physical therapy, they always send you home one, and everybody's been through physical therapy, so.
Yes.
Arms.
Alright, yeah, so the next one I want to talk about is just arms, your biceps and your triceps.
Do it with that up there.
So the first one is just a simple bicep curl. A lot of people have heard of them. You just take bands or dumbbells in your hand, right by your sides, and curl them up kind of to the front of your shoulders.
Just make sure you keep your elbow tucked, that way, because if it's like out here, you're going to use a lot more of your back and your shoulders to pull it up, versus if you keep your elbows tight into your side, it's like 99% all bicep. Because you use your tricep all the way down.
And then the next one is called tricep kickbacks. So again, by taking the bands or dumbbells in your hand, again by your side, extend your arm just right behind you. So the important thing for this, kind of what Courtney was saying, how you wanted to keep kind of your elbows tucked by your side, Kind of the same concept, except what you want to do is you want to have your elbow kind of in a fixed position, and you don't want it to move. So just pretend like you have like a board right here, and you're just extending straight back. Because again, if you kind of get rocky during any like bicep or tricep exercise, it kind of takes away from the muscle actually working. So the last
What's
group,
the,
yeah.
what's the weight that you should have
I-
in the belt?
That all depends on you. I have 5s with me right now, like which for me are pretty easy. But I mean, it's a lot easier for these two than it is for me with 5 pounds. But this is usually the lowest weight you'll find at the gym, unless if they have those 2.5s and a side rack.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got them in my room.
Then you can
Yeah,
start
perfect.
there.
Yep.
And then once it starts to get harder, once that like last rep isn't very hard anymore, that's when you can go up and make it harder and you can progress into more weight. And even if 2.5 was too hard for you, you can start with bands and then work your way into weight.
Yeah, bands are kind of nice because you have resistance the entire time as opposed to dumbbells where it's kind of just, it's a fixed weight, you kind of just curl it up, and as you come up it gets maybe just a little bit easier at the top. Bands, you have resistance the entire way. So there's pros and cons to each one. Just whatever you feel is most comfortable for you starting out. So and you can alternate too. It doesn't have to be just one or the other. One day you could do bands, next day you could do dumbbells for an exercise. You kind of just juggle back and forth and just see what's more comfortable for you. So the last group of muscles that we have is shoulders. So the first one that we have listed on the paper is front raises. So again, with bands or dumbbells, you simply raise them upwards while keeping your arms straight.
You can do these in the chair as well.
Yeah.
You would, same thing, you would just be seated, still lifting to the front.
Just like that. And then actually from the same position, instead of calling them front raises, they're just called lateral raises or side raises. So you just come straight out. So it's going to be working, so what a lot of people don't know is actually the shoulder is kind of segmented into 3 different types of muscles. So you have the front head of the shoulders, then you have the side, and then the back. So there's actually kind of 3 different sections of the shoulder, just kind of just different areas for each one. So this is just a good way to kind of hit every single muscle, or muscle head I should say. So with the front raises, you're focusing more on the front delts or the front shoulders. And then as you do the lateral raises, you're working more on the sides while incorporating a little bit of the rear shoulder head as well. And then the last workout that we have is shoulder presses. So it's very similar, kind of like what we're doing for the chest press, but it's more at an upright angle. So again, by taking the bands or the dumbbells, and you just press them right over your head.
These I prefer to do in a chair no matter what, just because it helps keep your back stable so you don't arch in while kind of getting up.
Can everybody hear okay?
Can you hear me? Okay, I'm like getting over the cold, so my voice is a little bit muted.
So make sure we weren't getting grounded out.
Yeah.
So does anybody have any questions? That's
Like I said, we do comfort with the tight side. Or anyway, the healthy step, we use both sit down, stand up, be careful.
yes.
And have fun, you know.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's most important.
But like we don't go there
Yep.
anymore and all.
Again, you can pull
So
them up.
simply by just doing that, simply by just raising your arms up, that's a front raise right there.
Then we
And then,
stretch to the side.
yep, those
Those
are
are
side
your core
bends.
side bends.
So it sounds like
Yeah.
you're doing a lot, and that's the thing, you don't have to stick with just front raises for a little bit. I mean, you can incorporate a lot.
Yeah, we do different things, it's just
Yeah.
that, you know, and everybody,
And you don't have to do weights for it to be muscular.
It can be all body weight.
Like you could, in your classes, you're doing muscular work and you don't even know it. So you're just having fun. And so,
so that,
yeah, so the back part of your mind is like, oh, I'm working these muscles, but you're not thinking about it.
Yeah.
So it makes it easier to get it done.
but we're learn different things, different ways of doing it.
Of course, yeah. Keep it interesting. Don't
Right.
don't keep the
Because if
same
you're not having
same
fun while
program.
doing it, you're not gonna do it. Because you're gonna be like, that's not fun, I don't wanna go do that, so I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it up.
Yeah. It gets boring doing the same thing over and over.
I'm trying to bring my biceps and triceps back there on vacation.
Put the reaching down.
Oh, yeah. I'm a little flexible.
Very good. Yes,
That's good though. But yeah, it's all about having fun and being safe. That's why with every single exercise, make sure that you are in a position where you're comfortable. So if it is kind of like if you're doing the good mornings or if you're doing the hip raises, just make sure that you are safe. Like if you need assistance, like using a chair, I do that. So it doesn't matter who. Yeah, I'll just go like right here. And again, I mean, there's different variations of the hip raise. You can take this, you can tie it around your ankles so it gives a little resistance, and then straight up, or straight in front of you. So there's just so many things. And this is just, we're only barely scratching the surface with the things that you can do with these workouts. So there's
Remember, we're not
so
spring chickens.
of course, yeah, that's why I want to make sure
that's
like anything can be done
We chose,
with assistance, even if it's just utilizing bands instead of dumbbells or in a chair.
and we chose a lot of exercises that you could modify very easily if you needed to, and to like hold on to the chair or the wall or something, or somebody could easily supervise and help you if you needed. So.
Is there any supervision or any like occupational therapists or anything here?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just curious.
No, but you know, when I was at the bridge for rehab, and they done basically some of those top things for strength for me,
Yeah.
for with the walker and stuff, and I graduated from that, you know, but I still try to do some of those with the band going out, but I hold on to the countertop.
Yeah.
because
I mean, I still do it, so I hold on to the wall.
I don't do it faithfully, but I do them every once in a while.
See, I have the worst balance, so I'm always holding on to something.
I know, my orthopedic surgeon wanted me to try to stand like a flamingo. I couldn't do it. So he says, okay, you can hold on to the countertop, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry for sure.
And did you ladies want to try any of these?
Beg your pardon?
Did you want to? Did you want to like try any?
Yes, ma'am, I will.
Well, we can do that now. That way you can kind of get a feel of how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so you got me.
That way you're not getting hurt later.
Huh?
Well, that way, like learning now, you don't get hurt later.
Well, Sarah, don't laugh. Okay, which one are we trying to do?
Whichever one do you want to do? Do you want the list to look at to pick from?
Okay, let's do this.
The leg raises?
Yeah,
Okay.
something like
Do you want
that.
me to tie those around your ankles? Okay.
Well, we can.
Both of them.
Oh, you want that? Oh,
Yeah.
that's all?
Well, we could definitely. We'll try and incorporate this like if going upstairs and utilizing up there. I just don't know if we would be able to, just because we don't have liability forms
Yeah.
and everything. So I
Yeah,
think
so
that's
tie
just
it pretty loosely.
So yeah,
Now, push that up
simple as
straight
that.
without going over.
Do you feel it in your legs?
Yeah.
In your butt? That's okay.
No comment.
They've heard the word before.
You know, yeah, they
It's
want me
good.
to try to go like that. Am I supposed to be wobbling though? Am I?
Yeah.
She said no.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
try to keep this
I
leg.
always wobble a little bit.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try. Oh, wait a minute.
Well, you have to shift your weight a little
Oh,
bit.
okay.
So starting there.
Yeah, so if you
Don't-
put all your weight
Yeah, there.
on your left foot, just like that, perfect.
Gotta do both sides. It's good.
And then you can try forward too if you would like.
How does that feel?
Can you feel it?
Mhm.
Good.
this year.
Like a
Okay,
double
wow.
A.
Right hip placement, yeah, so I try to do it the.
You're doing a great job. It seems like you got a pretty good range of mobility in the head.
Be able to,
Yeah.
I mean, doing
be
that
able to
is
kick a
better than
football.
something.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you for
You
volunteering.
did good.
Oh, but you want me to try something up here?
If you want.
It is. I'll say if you wanted to. So did you want to try just
Yeah.
like bicep curls?
Whatever you, let me see the picture, let me see the words. Which one you want me to try?
Bicep curls. That's the one where you go like this.
Okay.
You
So
can
you
just
would
step
put
on
them
it.
on your feet, on your feet.
Why don't we
You
tie just like a chest press? And I can just, or yeah, you can just
There you go.
that, just doing
Yeah.
one arm. Feel a little resistance?
A little bit.
A little bit. I'll say you can even just kind of like wrap the band.
Grab
Just
your
like
hand
that.
a little more, make it a little bit hard.
Yeah.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Am I keeping the elbows?
Yeah, you're looking
It's
great.
good.
Yep, it's perfect.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
then you do the other side.
Yep, just do the other side.
Ready to take on the world now, huh?
Coming up on the top.
Alrighty.
Well, thank you so much for coming and everything, participating a little bit.
Well, thank you all for coming.
And then, yeah, and then we do have one more next Thursday at 11, and that is talking about, I think it's cardiovascular,
Uh-huh.
so a little bit of cardio, the fun
So
stuff.
walking your dog.
Yeah, she already doing it.
But like I said, if you look at a lot of stuff, it's all connected from the different exercises and from the.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is all connected, for sure.
Because if you do like 8 reps at a higher weight, you'll get more strength. But if you do like 10 to 12 reps instead, you'll get a much higher heart rate, which can kind of go into cardiovascular as well. So.
Can you cut me a little piece of that rubber band?
Yeah.